Discover Russia. A country where the sun never sets. A place where Asia meets Europe and the East meets the West. Where ancient traditions live side by side with new technologies. A country that keeps its past and looks to the future. We speak 150 languages, but we perfectly understand each other. We are united by thousands of kilometers, endless forests, seas, lakes and rivers, huge megalopolises and tiny villages. We value hospitality and know how to welcome our guests. We dream looking at the sky, and we inspire others. We invent, create, and share our experience. We raise generations. We hurry. We relax. Run. Wait. Fall in love. Work. Build. We strive. A lifetime wouldn't be enough to describe our country. A country everyone must see with his own eyes. Russia, the whole world within.
Binsar. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's a great pleasure for me to greet you all on the occasion of the Russia Day. We're celebrating the 32nd anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration on the Sovereignty of the Russian Federation, which has become a milestone in establishing the new Russia, the country that plays a major role in global geopolitical developments, steadily defends its national interests and sovereignty. Indonesia is remaining one of our key partners in Southeast Asia and the Asia-Pacific. We highly appreciate the existing relations of trust and friendship between our countries, common approaches that we share in regards to the main issues and challenges of global agenda. This has been proved by our very good cooperation in various international fora, including UN, APEC, G20, and many others. Moreover, for 3 years, Indonesia successfully helped Russia to promote our strategic partnership with ASEAN as the coordinator of ASEAN-Russia Dialogue Partnership. Our bilateral cooperation is developing in line with the agreements reached during the meetings between the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, and the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, in Sochi in May 2016, and Singapore in November 2018. Close contacts are maintained between our parliaments and security authorities. I'm delighted to highlight that both countries are confidently moving towards establishing a strategic partnership. We highly value the level of dialogue between the ministries of foreign affairs of our countries. It can be illustrated by the visit of the Russian Foreign Minister, Mr. Sergei Lavrov, to Indonesia in July last year, and his meetings with His Excellency President of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Retno Marsudi, and Secretary General of ASEAN, Mr. Lim Jok-hoi. Next month, we're also expecting Mr. Sergei Lavrov to come to Bali for the ministerial G20 meeting. Our economic cooperation is growing rapidly. Last year, our bilateral trade volume increased by 47%. In the first 3 months of this year, the growth was even more inspiring, mainly 90%. We are ready to develop cooperation in the areas of energy, including green and renewable energy, space exploration and transfer of high technologies, and many others. There are good prospects in widening mutual supplies of agricultural products. We appreciate our cooperation in humanitarian area. Each year, our Science and Cultural Center in Jakarta receives more than 1,000 applications from Indonesian students to study in Russian higher education institutions. In 2021, the government of the Russian Federation increased the amount of annual scholarships for Indonesia by 100, which makes it a total quota of 26,1 as of today. Now more than 700 Indonesian students are studying in our country. I'm sure that Russia-Indonesia partnership will be further strengthening for the benefit of the people of our two countries. On behalf of the Embassy, let me assure you that we'll do everything to this end. Thank you very much, and terima kasih.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, on this auspicious National Day of Russia, I would like to underline that despite the turbulent geopolitical situation in the world, the ASEAN-Russia relations are on the rise. Since the third ASEAN-Russia summit in Singapore in 2018, which elevated the status of our partnership to a strategic level, we have reached a lot. Last year was a special year for us. In 2022, we celebrated the double anniversary, 30 years of ASEAN-Russia relations and 25 years of our dialogue partnership. On July 6, 2021, during the visit of the Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, to Jakarta, we had a special ASEAN-Russia Foreign Ministers meeting dedicated to this anniversary. The Jubilee year culminated in the 4th ASEAN-Russia Summit on October 28, with participation of the Russian President Vladimir Putin. The discussion between our leaders was open and frank. They exchanged opinions on regional situation, development of our cooperation, and further suggested strengthening of cross-regional connections. The outcomes of the summit included the new comprehensive plan of action to implement the strategic partnership for 2021-2025, comprised more than 100 action lines aimed at giving an important impetus to our collaboration. The leaders also adopted a joint statement on cooperation against illicit drugs trafficking that highlighted our shared approaches to this acute problem and outlined the priorities for further cooperation. But the most significant political document was the leaders' joint statement of the 4th ASEAN-Russia Summit, building a peaceful, stable, and sustainable region. It outlined the shared principles and approaches to regional development and anchored the strategic priorities for Russia and ASEAN cooperation. The statement provided for the unwavering support to ASEAN centrality in the evolving regional architecture and commitment to strengthen and give new momentum to ASEAN-led mechanisms. In contrast to the growing attempts to provoke confrontation and to divide the region into closed alliances, we strongly believe that the Asia-Pacific needs inclusive region-wide cooperation, which leaves no one behind. We are convinced that only by leveraging the full capacity of ASEAN and ASEAN-led mechanisms can we achieve this goal. We should maintain a politically peaceful and stable region where national security cannot be ensured at the expense of others. In this context, Russia also acknowledged the importance placed by ASEAN on the principles and objectives of the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific, which are inclusive in nature and aimed to generate momentum for building strategic trust and win-win cooperation. For the first time, the statement welcomed the interaction between ASEAN, Euro-Asian Economic Union, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization under the Greater Euro-Asian Partnership initiative of the President Vladimir Putin. Such cooperation is in line with the ASEAN's Connecting the Connectivities concept and plans to strengthen political cooperation in the wide range of spheres. At the summit, the leaders proclaimed 2022 as the ASEAN-Russia Year of Scientific and Technical Cooperation. The program of the year comprises more than 60 events in the broad range of spheres, starting from business and investment and ending with nuclear medicine and the 6G wireless communication. Together with our ASEAN friends, we continue to explore new spheres of cooperation. Last year, ASEAN and Russia signed the MOU on disaster management and held the first sectorial consultations, launched consultations of the High Representatives for Security Issues, and the dialogue on ICT security-related issues, and held the first ever ASEAN-Russia naval exercises, ARNEX 2021. I am confident that our common intention to promote mutually beneficial and equitable cooperation will help the ASEAN-Russia strategic partnership to reach new heights in the nearest future. Thank you for your attention.
Your Excellency, Mrs. Lyudmila Vorobieva, Ambassador of the Russia Federation to the Republic of Indonesia, Your Excellency, Mr. Alexander Ivanov, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to ASEAN, ladies and gentlemen, a very good day to all of you. It's an honor for me to represent the government and the people of Republic of Indonesia in delivering the congratulatory remarks for the auspicious occasion of the 30th anniversary of the National Day of the Russian Federation, Russia Day, on June 12, 2022. Although the celebration of Russia Day is held virtually, but it will not diminish our excitement to extend our heartfelt congratulations and warm greetings to the government and people of the Russian Federation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the bilateral ties between Indonesia and Russia have continuously developed in many sectors since our two countries established diplomatic relations 72 years ago in February 1950. I personally took note the great interest and the significant progress of bilateral cooperation on political, security, economy, and people-to-people context. Last year, we have witnessed the installment of the statue of Russian national hero, cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin in Jakarta, as a token of historical friendship between our two great nations. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, our two countries have also maintained regular and dynamic dialogues on various levels last year. Among others, the visit of Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Mr. Sergei Lavrov, to Jakarta on 5th to 6th July 2021, and the visit of Secretary of Security Council of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Nikolai Petrashev, to Jakarta on 13-14 December 2021. The telephone conversation between our two presidents on the 20 April 2022 has further amplified our commitment to strengthen our bilateral relation. I believe it's very timely for us to work together and explore innovative ways to strengthen our bilateral relation. Indonesia is looking forward to the visit of the President of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Vladimir Putin, to Indonesia to jointly launch the Indonesian-Russia strategic partnership when the time allowed. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, economic cooperation is paramount to the development of our bilateral cooperation. We realize the significant economic potentials to be further promoted, particularly in the field of trade, investment, and tourism. I'm happy to note that bilateral trade between Indonesia and Russia continued to increase significantly despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Both countries have been able to make progress to address the COVID-19 pandemic and started its economic recovery. Based on our statistical data, the trade value between Indonesia and Russia in 2021 reached $2.74 billion, which is an increase of 42% as compared to 2021. This is the highest trade volume recorded between the two countries. We believe that the total value of trade does not represent the true trade potential of both countries and therefore can and should be expanded. Thus, I strongly urge both countries and business people to establish direct trade. I also invite Russian leading business people to participate in the many promising investment projects in Indonesia. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to bilateral relations, both of our countries continue to share similar views and actively work together in the common endeavor to strengthen regional and global cooperation, particularly through various international organizations, primarily United Nations, ASEAN, Lead Mechanism, APEC, and G20. Both our countries are also actively involved and have common position in addressing global threat and challenge, such as regional conflict, terrorism, extremism, transnational crimes, illegal drug trafficking, cybercrime, and climate changes. We highly value Russian support toward ASEAN centrally and the framework of ASEAN Outlook on Indonesia-Pacific in maintaining the stability, security, and development in the Asia-Pacific region. We therefore invite Russia to continue its positive engagement and contribution in the many initiatives under the ASEAN Outlook on Indonesia-Pacific priorities. Indonesia also look forward to establishing a free trade agreement with Eurasian Economic Union. to expand our market access to the EOIU region, of which Russia is a member state. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, since December last year, Indonesia is given the trust and opportunity to hold the G20 presidency. The privilege comes with enormous challenges and responsibilities. Today, we are still facing the detrimental impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. The sluggish global economic recovery, the urgencies to address climate change. The situation is worsened by the current dynamic of geopolitics causing disruption on energy, food, and logistic supplies of commodities needed by international community. Hence, the unity of G20 is more relevant than before. Under the theme of Recovery Together, Recovery Stronger, Indonesia G20 presidency will focus on joint collaboration and cooperation to accelerate economic recovery and realize a stronger, more inclusive and sustainable world economic governance. Indonesia would like to see G20 become a catalyst for global recovery and generate concrete cooperation that benefit developing countries. For this reason, Indonesian presidency will focus on strengthening global health architecture, energy transition, and digital transformation. As a fellow of G20, Russia's support for Indonesia G20 presidency is highly expected. President Joko Widodo has extended invitation to President Vladimir Putin to attend the G20 summit in November 2022. We expect the pressure of all G20 leaders to provide assurance and global confidence that by working together we can safely address and overcome all those challenges. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, at this joyous occasion, I would like to use this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to all those who enthusiastically contribute to promote friendship and cooperation between Indonesia and Russia. Let the coming days bring better hopes and opportunity for the peoples of Indonesia and Russia. I am convinced that the close bilateral relation between Indonesia and Russia will continue to grow in the future through mutually beneficial cooperation for the prosperity and welfare of our peoples. Once again, a heartfelt congratulations for this festive occasion. To the happiness and prosperity of the people of the Russian Federation. Happy Russia Day. I thank you. Spasiba.